Hello, everybody. Bonjour, Cécile. So, are you ready for that puffy pendant? As I said the last time, you can use the graphite pearl, or if you don't have graphite pearl, hi, Doro. Then you can mix some silver with black. Pretty much, you need almost half and half. Depends on how light you want to make it. And then a stamp. Hi, Colleen. And I've chosen the jitterbug because it was on top of everything else. And as many of you know, I've been super busy. Yesterday, I finally managed to get a little bit less busy, so I finished one tutorial. There will be a short one released after the live today for YouTube, part one of a larger project. I didn't do the full project yet because of time constraints. And honestly, after I'll finish that tutorial, I'll just take half the day off because I didn't have a day off since 2 weeks ago on Thursday. Hi, Dorothy. So let's get to the point. So we have the clay. Let me make sure that you see everything that I'm making. We have the clay, we have the stamp. Then we shall use a heart cutter. This is in the Makins 3-piece set, and it's the largest one. And then I will use a little triangular one, kind of rounded triangle. Honestly, I had for some reason two round. Actually, not for some reason. I had first the one with 3 pieces, and then I found on sale the one with 5 pieces from Makins. So the one with 3 pieces, I just turned it into this rounded triangle. And this is what I will be using to put the hole in the puffy pendant. So this will be for the first thing, and then we shall be doing something else while the pendant is baking. So let's start doing it. So what you want first is to get your metallic clay to the mica sheen. And you can see I still need to go with it a couple times more through the pasta machine. And you want to be on the thickest setting because we are going to do a mica shift and it will get thinner. Because in the end, it will be on the thinnest setting in order to be able to achieve the puffy look. So we got the clay. That's all nice and done with the mica sheen. Hi, Lawrence. Hi, Carol. And remember that the way that I do it, I don't put the stamp on the clay. I do the reverse. I put first the stamp down. And then I will be putting some release on the clay. And, I use the Armor All. And once again, why you don't want to put your release on the stamp is because the liquid, or if you use cornstarch, hi, Teresa. Hi, Carrie. Might pull in those little recessed spaces, and then it will not give you a good imprint. So always put your release agent on the clay, and that way you can make sure that it goes all over the place. Then position the clay on the stamp. And again, what I do so my roller will not stick, I use a piece of wax paper on top of it. And then really, 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 really hard, because you only go one time. You don't want a ghost image. And you want a very nice, deep impression. Okay. And then we are going to shave it off. Now I'm not going to do on all of it. I'm going to pretty much figure how big my, and I'm going to go like this because it's going to need to be a pinch bigger because it's going to get puffed up. Bonjour, Tipounette. Cecile, are you going to help me translate a little bit? Because, you know, when I'm working, it's sometimes hard to watch the chat too. Donc, je fais un mica shift. C'est ça. Et si vous n'avez pas du graphite, alors vous pouvez mélanger de l'argent avec du noir. Et le tampon, c'est votre choix. So now I'm going to do some, let me see if I can do it flat. If not, I might have to go grab my jar. And I don't have my eyeglasses on, so if you say something, I'm not going to be able to hear it, to see it, to read it. And so all you do in this is just nicely shave the raised parts to create the mica shift effect. And the best way to do this is to pretty much, it will not cut you. Pretty much hold your thumbs on it to hold it at the same distance from the table. Now I'm showing you how to do it. I cannot really do it properly because, you know, my hands have issues. But this is pretty much how you do it to make sure that you get an even cut, that you don't gouge. If you try to do this with bending the blade, you might gouge in some areas and not shave enough in others. So try to go evenly. And you can always feel where you didn't get all the way, and you can do another pass. And sometimes if you want, if you think that you're not getting a good grip on it, you can actually lift it and then place it the other way. Just be careful and flatten it well against the working surface so you wouldn't pull it when you pull the blade. You see how now I can take other areas that I wasn't able to do in that position. Okay. One more little spot here now. Actually, I did do it all over the area where the heart will be. Okay, let me catch up with the chat. And hello, if anybody else came. Regine, bonjour, Regine. That I didn't see and the chat went up. Now we want to make it nice and even. So we are going to go over it with a roller, but don't press too hard, because if you keep going too many times, then you're going to mess up the whole mica shift thing. I'll lift it in a second to show you the mica shift effect. But you don't want to go too many times. You can even, you know, get this and your acrylic block and simply burnish. But actually this one's got a few wrinkles. Let me find the one that doesn't have wrinkles. And just burnish a little bit. See how it shows you where it's not even with the wax paper. That's the thing that will always tell you when you have a perfectly flat area or not. And go in all directions, because you're not aware of the fact that your hands don't always push the same on the left or on the right. It depends on which is your dominant hand. So your clay might be thinner in one spot and thicker in another. Let's see. Let's check out. See how here I went a little bit deeper. Hi, Jeanette. Yeah, you're not that much late. Okay, and let's call this enough. And we have the mica shift effect pretty nicely. Now I'm going to very gently get it through the pasta machine once. Now see, it is thinner than the thickest setting right now. So I'm going to go, just keep going down until you get to one setting that will flatten it a bit. Because you only want a little bit of flattening to make it even, not to mess up the mica shift. And there we go. See, now it's perfectly flat. Now the next, c'est ça, quand vous passez à la machine, vous devez aller d'abord avec la plus grosse épaisseur, et ensuite, parce que vous allez voir, ça ne n'affecte pas la pâte que lorsque vous arrivez à une épaisseur qui est un petit peu plus mince que votre feuille. Et c'est cette épaisseur et c'est tout. Swimming, huh? Yeah. Don't talk about swimming to poor people who are living in 20 degrees Fahrenheit right now. Okay, so you turn your cutter upside down. If you remember, the ones of you who have been my subscribers for a while, months and months ago, I did a tutorial on a puffy pendant. And if you don't understand much of what I'm showing here, I'm going to put a link in the description after the live is over, so you can go and watch that one too. Dans un seul sens, seulement une fois, Sophie. Parce que si tu vas plus d'une fois, tu vas abîmer le mica shift. So you turn the cutter upside down with the cutting edge up, and then you turn your clay sheet face down in the cutter. But all this you need to do very, very gently. So it will look pretty much like this. And then you start pressing down. Very gently, because you don't want the edges of the cutter to leave marks on the top of the polymer clay. And you can use a bowl stylus, or if you have a roller like mine, you can use it a little bit, especially if you have fingernails, long fingernails like I do. But you have to be very gentle in this whole process to kind of force a little bit the clay to flex and go in there. Bonsoir, Sylvie. Now let's put this to the side. I forgot to cut a few more. I'm going to gently cut what's reaching the... And let's get what's left over and get it through the pasta machine again until we get the mica sheen. And go again on the thickest setting, because we will do a second mica shift for the backing of the pendant. And I'm going to repeat exactly what I did before. All you need is for it to be the size of the cutter. Hi, Shirley. You don't need a big piece. And again, the exact same way as I did the other one. Oui, vous la repassez dans la machine jusqu'à ce que vous la faites encore une fois brillante from le mica. Et on va faire la même chose avec celui-ci. And again, I'm going to move it the other way so I can grab all the... Oui, c'est pour faire le fond. Yes, we are going to do the backing with this one. So we don't have to come back and do a separate backing after it's baked. And we'll do the exact same thing. Get it through the pasta machine once. And this time we are going to place it face up on the one that we have here. Check again your clay to be in. And then place the backing face up. And gently press, don't cut yet. I'm sorry, Shirley, but you'll be able to watch it after, because you know it gets recorded. And then you turn it upside down, so you'll have this at this point. You see how it's all puffed up inside there? And what we are going to do is we are going to make a hole in it. But this time we are not going to make it like in the puffy pendant. The hole was here that was actually making the pendant have its own bail. But this time we are going to make a different type of hole that we are going to put something in after it's baked. So, and this one you can make it triangular, you can make it round, you can make, I wouldn't advise you to do it heart-shaped because it might cause problems. But place it about 2 to 3 millimeters from the edge. Make sure that it's right in the middle. Okay, my thing is a little bit off. Let me get another one. Let me get just a regular one. I'll get a round. Okay, I just got a round one. But when you place it to be symmetrical on both sides. Bonsoir, Lilou. And then very gently start pressing on it. You see how I'm going to try bring this down a little bit, how the air starts moving away and filling up more the rest of the pendant. And you need to do this very slowly, otherwise it's going to blow. But slowly, slowly, and a bit at a time until it reaches the bottom. And see, now it doesn't really lift anymore. And then grab your acrylic block so you can cut with both of them at the same time. And press real hard. Now let's remove the one. Vous devez presser un petit à la fois jusqu'à ce que vous arrivez au fond. Sinon, votre pâte va éclater. Okay, and then we will, bake it with this on. All you need to do is to, hold on, I need to lift this a little bit, is to remove the clay in the very middle. Sorry, it's very hard for me. I cannot see because of the camera. Okay. Now very gently lift it. And because I don't have a tile here, I'm going to just place it on a piece of wax paper. Make sure that it's well, because it's going to hold your clay together. And you can remove it if you want, but I prefer to bake it with the cutter in, because it assures that it won't crack at the seams. Okay, now we are going to bake it for 20 minutes. Now on va le cuire pour 20 minutes. I'll be right back. Now, do you remember the little cherry blossom cane? And of course, you can do that with any other flower cane, or just make a flower plain from petals. But I'm going to actually use the cherry blossom cane. Let me see if it's not. Might be a little bit too big, so let me cut a piece and make it a tad smaller. So I'm going to cut a slice about 3 millimeters. So this is my cherry blossom slice. Pour 20 minutes la cuisson. Non, ça c'est le Régine, ça c'est une des plaques de Helen Bray. Il s'appelle le jitterbug. Je vais l'écrire pour toi. Mais si tu vas je ne sais pas si tu peux la trouver en Europe. J'ai acheté ça et j'ai acheté encore une qui me plaît. Je vais faire très prochaine un autre projet avec Radiant Rays, les rayures radiantes, et c'est celui-ci. Ça, c'est pour mon prochain projet. Mais si tu vas sur mon site et tu fais clic sur Polyclay Play, tu peux le trouver là-bas. Oui, elle vient d'Amérique, Sylvie. Malheureusement. Mais tu peux essayer dans le magasin Etsy de J'ai fait art parce que je sais qu'ils ont fait des textures très similaires à Ellen Braille récemment. Donc, tu peux aller voir là-bas si tu peux trouver quelque chose. Yes, it's not even 3 millimeters. It's kind of like 3 on one side and 2 on one side. I didn't cut it very straight, but I am making it smaller because it will have to pretty much fit in that round. See how I'm pushing it in? Remember I showed you before how to reduce just a single slice of one cane. You can, out of a slice of one cane, make a miniature cane if you're patient. All it takes, you keep it pressed against the table and very gently press in. You will have some deformation, of course, but I'll show you in a second the result. See? From this one to this one. Your opals? What opals? I didn't know you were making opals. Okay, so now you see it is quite deformed, so I'm going to gently shave it to the point that I get one slice, and I have all kinds of rests and pieces of the other one. Oh, the mother of pearl. Okay. And how did it come out? Oops, sorry. It's a good idea to cut with the cutting edge of the blade, generally speaking. Yeah, you need to post some pics, absolutely. And you need to send me some pics on Facebook so I can post them. So all I need is practically one slice of this. So I'm going to shave until I get a nice flat slice. Okay, I got my slice of the, let me see if I can manage the camera to focus, because it's been very reluctant lately. Oh, kind of, but I don't really care about the little deformations, because what's next is actually cutting it out. Oh, that will look gorgeous. Are you going to try and do a double one like the one I posted recently with the faux rhodochrosite? So what I'm doing now is very gently, oh, see, this one is not perfect. It still has some deformation. I didn't see it with my eyeglasses on. I need to shave it a bit more. There we go. So what I'm going to do now is to practically cut out the flower itself. Very gently with my X-Acto knife. No, I still don't have my eyeglasses on. Now I have all this cut out, and I'm going to place it on a piece of wax paper. And I just broke it. It's okay, because you don't really need it to be together. You actually need the petals, not the whole thing. You can actually separate the petals. I thought too late after I made the cane that I should have left a piece of petal separately just to make flowers with it. And I need my ball stylus. Okay, let me catch up with the Yeah, it doesn't bleed. Okay, so now be careful, because what we are going to do is to actually do each petal. Shape it a little bit. And it's okay if you have a little bit of translucent left on the edges. It's fine. Okay. What time is it? Okay, give me just a second, because I need to go turn on my other oven because it beeped. I'm baking sweet potatoes for Whisper. Yeah, I'm sorry, but that's the only thing of what he used to like, and that, hi, Deborah, and that he still eats. Deborah's in Oregon. Yeah, he used to love. Remember when he had that bout, and I thought I was going to lose him in November when he almost died? Right after the cats were sick. And he threw up for 2 days continuously and had bleeding from hemorrhage from his intestines. So after that, before that, he loved carrots. If he didn't have his carrots in a day, raw carrots, he would throw fits. After he had that, he doesn't like carrots anymore. And a lot of the things that he used to love, like peanut butter and stuff, he doesn't even want to touch anymore. He might taste a banana now and then, but he still likes baked sweet potatoes. So that's what I'm giving him, because with his diet, he doesn't really get any kind of, I have to put supplements in his food. Okay. Now, what we need to do is to get this one somehow connected to the heart, right? Yeah, he likes meat and he has to eat, but see, he has liver cancer, Jeanette. So I make him a homemade food that consists of chicken breast and then a little bit of chicken gizzard and chicken liver. And then he gets the same amount of coconut flour mixed with either a little bit of cream of wheat or a little bit of brown rice as it is meat. And hard-boiled eggs, he doesn't like cheese. No, he's not on a raw diet. And I have to put everything through the food processor. No, he's not on a raw diet. He's not. Yeah, it works great because his liver enzymes were like through the roof. And the last time he had the check done around Christmas, they were almost normal. So it works wonders. And I also put him on CBD oil, and that did great for him too. Okay, let me grab a piece of wire. So what we are going to do is I'm going to take a piece of wire about this big, and we are going to make a wrap loop at the other side. Oops, not this one, sorry. Wrong plier. You know how to make a wrap loop? So you bring them both like this, then you bend one back, and then you take this one and you practically loop it around. Let me see if I can. I need to take off my glasses again. This is always very difficult for me to do under the camera because of the position my hands are in and my arms. Okay, and now I have this that's going to give me an idea, right? So this is going to go in the heart, and you'll see how. So I need the flower to be somewhere here. So I'm going to cut this. And then I'm going to make a little loop because we don't want it to come out. And press it in. And now I will take just a pinch of that translucent I just took off. And I'm going to place it here in the loop. Right on that loop. And it's a little bit too much. Do you want me to switch to the other camera so I can show you very close-ups? Oui, c'est une tige à œil. On fait premièrement un œil parce qu'on va mettre un petit écrou avec un œil dans le cœur, mais on doit mettre la fleur sur quelque chose. Donc, j'ai fait un œil et ensuite j'ai fait un petit œil, pas vraiment un œil, mais pour tenir la pâte. Et je vais attacher les pétales sur ce petit bout de pâte. Okay, now the other oven thing, let me go take the part out. Okay. I took it out so it would get cooled off. Okay. What did I miss? I didn't miss much. So, and now we have the little petals, and we are going to attach them to this itty bitty piece of clay. One by one. Now make sure that, see how the eye is like this? You're going to place the other eye in the heart like this. So make sure your flower is flat with that eye. And remember, a cherry flower has 5 petals, the regular ones, not the ruffled ones. But like the normal sakura flowers, they always have 5 petals. I'm not holding it properly. And go put it on the back. And I'll show you, at one point I'll make a cane with the ruffled cherry blossom, because you don't put just double the number of petals. No, you have to do it differently. Okay, I'm going to gently press it down. And check if it needs any more. Because remember, it has stamens on it. Flatten any fingerprints you might have left. And I am going to put it in the oven. Now, this one you don't have to bake it for more than 15 minutes. Donc, vous ne devez pas mettre ça dans le four pour plus de 15 minutes. Mais faites sûr que la fleur est dans le même plan avec l'œil. Ici. Je vais essayer de faire la caméra venir dans le focus. Come on. It just did, and then it went boom again. This is pretty much how it should look. And then one more thing you can do if you want, grab a marker. It has to be permanent. And just dab a little bit of color there. Because it's alcohol ink and it will stay there. If you have a thinner one, it's even better. Let me see if I have a thinner one here. Yeah, I have a thinner one here. Because it's so tiny, nobody's going to come with a magnifying glass. So I'm going to put this in the oven and check on the heart. Now, remember, even if you decide to varnish the heart, not to buff it, you still have to sand it. Especially on pearlescent effects, if you want the effect to come out properly, you need to sand. Au revoir, Cécile. Okay, so this is the heart. We are going to very gently take it out. And see, I had a little bit of... Now, if this happens, all you can do is to... See, this happens when you go too fast. And it is fixable. That's not a problem. It will just have to go back in the oven, but I'll put it in the oven, back in the oven after the live. Let me just pull this out. Sorry. I need a different angle for my hands. Okay, so this is how it looks like. And on here, you just put a little bit of bacon bond, and then you place it back in the oven with something on, you know, like something like this, or you can put bacon bond and hold it. And remember how bacon bond hardens up? I haven't folded the second half. I don't know, it depends what you're trying to do, but the silver, generally the metal leaf in the, when you don't have translucent, you'll end up with just itty bitty dots of something that would look like minuscule glitter. So you need to sand it, absolutely. And you can go when sanding, you can go and smooth down these corners. But I will do on it everything that needs to be done, and then I'll put it back in the oven with a little bit of bacon bond to fix that area. As I said, it's not a disaster. It is very fixable. But you go ahead and you sand it really nice. Because, you know, once it's going to be either buffed or varnished. But again, this is what happens when you push too hard when you put in the little one. Donc, c'est ce que peut arriver si vous allez avec le petit cercle, le petit emporte-pièce trop fort, pas un peu à la fois. Mais si ça vous arrive, c'est pas un désastre. Ce que vous faites, vous mettez un peu de bacon bond et ensuite vous le tenez comme ça pour quelques minutes et ensuite vous le mettez encore dans le four pour 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Mais je ne vais pas faire ça maintenant parce que je vais vous montrer comment finir ça. Donc, vous pensez, et vous pouvez penser ce petit angle ici, mais vous devez penser, n'importe pas si vous voulez polir ou si vous voulez appliquer du lac, mais vous devez penser pour prendre tout l'effet de la mica shift. Et ensuite, ce qu'on va faire, donc après polir, et si, une autre chose que j'ai voulu vous montrer, c'est pour ça que j'ai apporté tout ça. Parce que si vous pensez ici à un angle, vous allez faire ce petit coin ici disparaître. Why I brought all this to show you. If you sand and you sand at a little angle here, you're going to make this itty bit of a lip go away, and it's going to be perfectly nice and smooth and round. But your problem will be here, because obviously you cannot put that in there. And what I normally do, I just take a piece of, and I cannot find my piece. I have a piece that's special for this. That's exactly the size of my finger. And then I wrap it around my finger, you know, not like this. It's perfectly cylindrical. And then I just go in and I sand, because that way you can make even the inside be beautifully smoothed and everything. And you can see that the back too is nice and with the mica shift. Bon appetit, Regine. And now the last thing, let me take this off up here. I'm sorry, I'm getting something. Now, the last thing you're going to do, you need a hand drill. Oops. And you will need one of these that have little screws on them, and a pinch of Loctite. So what you do, you get your hand drill, and the best is to go from here, not from here, because the angle is a little bit weird because of the puffiness. So go from the back and check to be sure that you're right in the middle. And poke a hole. It's okay if it's not perfectly straight. It doesn't really matter. Hey. I'm sorry, I have to do it off camera. I cannot hold my hands there and use them. Okay, so once you poke the hole, you excuse me, you'll have to use a little bit of Loctite or super glue. Donc vous allez devoir utiliser un peu de Loctite ou de la super glue. And then put the little screw in here. Of course, it's not perfectly glued now, so, but you'll have to have the screw like this. And then you attach your little flower that's going to sit pretty much here. You see, the flower will be sitting pretty much right here. Un gros bisou, Sylvie. Donc, vous allez mettre vos petites œillets à écrou dedans avec du super glue. Mais mon avis est de mettre premièrement la fleur sur ça et ensuite le mettre complètement dedans, parce qu'il sera difficile d'ouvrir l'œil pour mettre la fleur, l'œil de la fleur. Et ensuite, la fleur va rester exactement ici, sur la base du cœur. Donc, il sera comme une petite fenêtre avec une fleur de cerise. So it will be a little bit, yes, growth of craft. With a little bit like a little window with a cherry tree blossom in. But I'm not going to do that because it needs fixed here. So I will post a photo after it's done. I will post a photo on my Facebook. And then, of course, you make another poke like this here to insert another screw eye for the bail. Yes. It dangles a little bit outside of the hole. The flower will be here. Right here. It will look like this. Not inside, but a little outside. And it will not dangle too much because of the way it is. But I wanted to say something and then I answered your question. Oh yeah, and then you put another eye screw here for bail. And that's pretty much it. It's a very showy and interesting. And also remember, if you use Loctite, let it be for at least an hour before starting to mess up with it, because it takes a while to completely set. And you can do similar stuff. I wouldn't suggest with a heart because it's a little bit too long, but you can do earrings the same, and I would suggest to use an oval. And then you'd also have matching earrings. But once this gets sanded and varnished or buffed, it looks absolutely gorgeous. And of course, you can make it with other colors of mica. Why I made it like this, and honestly, if there was a black pearlescent, I would make it with black, because the cherry tree blossom stands out much better on black. Another thing that I would suggest to do if you want is to put a very, very thin line of silver or gold inside. That will also make the cherry tree blossom stand out some more. But the best it looks on dark. You can also try it on white, but as I said, it looks the best on dark. If you can even obtain steel mica shift by mixing graphite with black, it will be even prettier. Yeah, make a magnet. You can make something else. You don't have to make a pendant necessarily. You can make a brooch. Absolutely. Or you can, another thing that you can do if you want to skip completely the dangly is to actually make a new backing and just put, cut a hole in the backing and put a little slice of the cane in here. And that would make the slice semi-transparent if you want, or sit on the backing, but you can insert a slice of the cane in here if you don't want a dangly. You know, you can just put a regular backing and insert the cane between the heart and the backing. That would also look good. But I think that this will be my last Valentine's Day themed live. And starting next time, we are going to go spring, baby. Actually, I was thinking next time it's, let me check something. Give me just a minute. I need to check something first. Yeah, so it's going to be, let me see, how long do I have? 1825. So yeah, let's do the next 2 times. If nothing happens, let's do spring stuff, flower stuff. I'll think about it. And probably we'll do a little bit of itty bitty flower jewelry next time. You know, just with tiny, tiny, tiny bits of flowers. And then 2 days from now, or 2 days, 2 Sundays from now, let's do some millefiori tiny um, beads that would look like spring, you know. Uh, some of you who had purchased of my D-stash packages, no, I don't have any left, I don't think, to show you, but I'll show you how to make those. I think I showed them to you one time. Give me just a second, let me check the kitchen. I remember that the Flower Girl D-stash package didn't sell, so I do have some. So this kind of beads. So this will do 2 Sundays from now. And 1 Sunday from now, we'll do the same style, but with the flowers in applique. There are larger flowers I cannot really do in life because they take a lot of time, and I don't think I can sit on a chair for more than oh yeah, that's why I checked the calendar to see exactly when. So on the 4th we will do St. Patty's. And I was actually thinking to do both the 4th and the 11th. So we can do one of them, I don't know, the 4th or the 11th, to do actually shamrock pin. These are little violet. You're talking about these, right? If you go on my website, Carrie, and you look in the free tutorials for beginners, the cane is there for making this little violet flower. It's right there, and you can have it prepared ahead of time if you want. And there are actually, I think there are like 2 or 3 flower canes there in the basics. So we'll do the next 2 Sundays with flowers, and then the 4th and the 11th of March we'll do, one of them will be a shamrock pin, and the other one some other thing. What flowers? Okay, hold on, I missed something. I will do, remember that I said that I will do flowers with pardo, so that is on the list. I will do larger flowers, regular flowers with pardo. Because they look so much better than made with Premo. But I'm also waiting a little bit for Trish to get the to get the shipping. the shipment of Pardo. So, okay. So I guess that even if we don't finish this, I will finish it eventually and post a photo on the website. But I started hurting, and I'd rather wrap this up because I've been in a lot of stress lately and worked too hard. Once I get back on track, it will be much easier. Okay, thank you so much for being here with me, and I hope you'll like your little art pendant, brooch, whatever you decide to make with it. And the flower is baked, but I don't dare to touch it right now because it's thin and it might bend. Okay, ladies, thank you so much for being here with me. And have a wonderful Sunday, what's left of it. I will rest a little bit and then I'll finish that first part of the tutorial and upload it on YouTube. So look out for it this afternoon. Okay? Thank you so much. Have a wonderful Sunday. Au revoir. Avez une bonne dimanche soir. Okay. Goodbye.